who was tragically killed in action at the age of 23 in Ramadi, Iraq. Terry is joined today by her family members, Paul and Kim Rosser, Phil and Rochelle Ray, and Jackie Dunaway. We thank you for being here and for sharing your family's story with us, Terry. In addition to years spent supporting her family and making connections with other Gold Star families across the country, Terry founded the nonprofit organization Alabama Gold Star Families. Since 2008, Terry and her fellow members have traveled across Alabama to visit and support families who have lost loved ones in service to our country. Together, they have also led fundraising efforts to build Gold Star family memorial monuments at the Alabama National Cemetery and the American Village, creating lasting spaces of remembrance and honor. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Mrs. Terry Savage. Thank you.
Hello. It's so good to see so many people here. When you become a Gold Star family member, most of us we didn't even know what it was. We had no idea what it meant. We didn't know that we were one when the day that we became one. On June 21st, 2005, my son, Specialist Brian Alex Vaughn, went out on a mission that night. Alex was actually sick and was supposed to be off that night. But earlier that day, his dear friend, Nicholas Sadowski, had been killed in an ambush. And Alex, as the medic, felt like if he had been there, that he could have saved his friend. There was no way that he could have. It was a headshot from a sniper that took Nick, but in Alex's heart, they have that connection to each other, that they're responsible for each other. They're one person when they're in the battle like that. So he got somebody to let him go in their place. And that night, they hit an IED and they had to pull their Bradley over. Another IED went off because they watch you until they hit you again with another. They hit him with another, and the Bradley caught on fire. So they had to jump out and run. Alex's other friend, Christopher Hoskins, was shot, and we believe that Alex was running to Christopher to take care of him because that's what he did. He was their medic, he was their doc. Alex was running to him when he was hit by small arms fire. He was wearing all of the right equipment. He had on his helmet, he had on his vest, but he raised his arms. When running, when reaching for Christopher, we're not sure. But when he raised his arms, a bullet went above the vest and into his armpit. And he died instantly. Because of the time difference, it was the next morning, Tuesday, the 22nd, when we actually found out that Alex had been killed. And it didn't go the way that you see it on TV. At 5:30 that morning, my phone began to ring. My husband answered it. He came and woke me up and he said, "Terry, Adam, my other son, was on the phone calling from New York where he was visiting their father. Adam is on the phone and he's screaming, 'Mom, Mom, Alex is dead, Alex is dead.'" And we couldn't understand what was happening because there was no one at our house. You know, they come to your house way before you wake up. There was no one in our yard. So we spent the next hour and a half calling different numbers, trying to get somebody to tell me if he was actually had been killed. We finally got in touch with an organization called TAPS. Some of you may be familiar with TAPS. It's Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. I don't even know why we had the information. Alex was fine when we got this information. But I feel like that God knew that we were going to need those people. So I called the number and I told the lady my name, Alex's name, and she said, "Miss Savage, let me make some phone calls and I'll call you right back." And when she called me back, she said, "Miss Savage, what's your address?" And when she said that, I knew what had happened. We had moved 2 months before Alex was killed, and we had given the information to the military that he had been killed. I mean, that we had moved, but something happened. A ball got dropped, the paperwork had not gone through yet. So they had actually gone to our old apartment. So I don't know how those poor people felt when they showed up at the door at 5:30. But, so we had to sit there and wait for them to come to us. We had to call the military and tell them where we were. And while they were on the way, our family, our friends started to gather at the house because word passes. People call. People that everybody know. Our pastor and his family were there. We're all still just in shock because nobody is there. We haven't had that knock at the door. And that's what happens. That's how it happens. And then we see them coming down the steps to my house. You know that it's happened. You know that your loved one's been killed. But it's like, if we don't let them say it to us, if we don't let them come in the door, if we don't let them say, on behalf of a grateful nation, we want to thank you for the service that we regret to inform you that your son, Specialist Brian Alex Vaughn, was killed in action last night. And I don't even remember what happened next. I just remember screaming, "No, no, no." And as I got to know other Gold Star families, we all had the same reaction. It's no, no. You've got the wrong family. It was a mistake. Dog tags were mixed up. Something, there's something. It's not my child, not my child. This is something that happens to other people. It doesn't happen to us, it happens to other people. Well, sometimes we are those other people, and it does happen to us. The military stepped in. They were fabulous. They stepped in. Our casualty assistance officer, Sergeant Cortez, was amazing. It was his first time. And he said, "I'm going to try to do the best I can for you, but I've never done this before." And we were like, "Well, we've never done this before either, so we're just going to help each other get through this." And he did. He was fabulous. People were there with us. My family stayed. They slept on couches, slept on floors. You just need people to be around you. You need people to hold you up because you can't hold yourself up. And you need the Lord to hold you up. Without him, we would have never survived this. Without my pastor and his family, we would have never survived this. Alex was the light of our family. He was the light of our lives. He was the love of my life. I was a single mom when Alex was little, and he was the one constant thing that kept me going, that gave me strength, that I could do it, I could make it through with him, because I was taking care of him, and he was loving me, and he trusted me. I was his mom. 1 month before Alex was killed, it was Mother's Day, and he had sent me some flowers and a bracelet, and he sent me a poem. Now this was 1 month before he was killed. "Dear Mom, your baby boy is getting strong now. Your little man is learning new things. He has gotten so big now. He still gets his hand popped when he reaches for the wrong things, but he's learned. He keeps getting one step closer to the man whose life, you'll say, went by so fast. He still doesn't understand girls and doesn't think he ever will. He still gets homesick and he misses his mom. He has learned some hard things: love and heartbreak, friendship and loss, duty and morality, myth and mortality, how it feels to be loved by a mass of people and still feel alone. Yet all in all, he is still happy. Sometimes he wonders how he kept this unnatural joy. In the worst situations, he can still smile. He cares about all those around him. He will help them however he can. On top of all this, Mom, he will do anything to have you cry on his shoulder and welcome one more time. I love you, Mom, Alex. We never got that chance for us to welcome him home the normal way. We did get to go to the airport, the Birmingham airport, and meet his body when it came back. And that is a surreal experience. That everything that happens just makes it become more real, even though your mind and your heart are still fighting it and trying to say that it's not real, this is not really happening. But when we went to get him from the airport, they sent somebody with them, and this young man had Alex's personal effects in a little bag that he had had on him when he was killed. And my pastor had only met Alex once, but he said, I'm going to do my best, to do his funeral. But he said that when they opened that little bag of Alex's remains, his personal effects, that Alex preached his own funeral. Because out of that bag was his dog tag, because he knew who he was in the Lord. There was a cross, a penny with a cross cut out, and he knew that he belonged to the Lord. He knew whose he was. He was wearing a Live Strong bracelet because he knew that he had to live strong in the job that he had been doing there in Ramadi, Iraq. And he had a broken watch because he knew that he had to redeem the time because his life was short. But the years that he was with us, 23 years, Alex touched so many lives, not just here, but also in the military. When he was over there, he was a medic in the aid station, which meant he worked on people that got brought in. But that was not Alex's heart. Alex's heart, his whole life, was to rescue people. He wanted to be their hero. He wanted to help people. When he was 10 years old, he took a class at school, first aid class, and they gave him a little card that said he was a trained first responder. So that after that, anytime there was a wreck, if somebody got hurt at school, whatever it was, Alex was like, I have a card. I can take care of him. Stop the car, Mom. And I'm like, no, we are not stopping at this 4-car wreck so you can get out with your 10-year-old self and try to help these people. Not happening. But that was always his dream. So when he told us he was joining the military, he told us that he was going to be taking nursing. I was okay with that. I was like, okay, I can handle that. That's okay. You'll be in a hospital. What he actually had enlisted as was a combat medic. And he did not want to work in the aid station. He wanted to go out on the line with the men. And for about the first 6 months in Iraq, his sergeant loved him in the aid station because he was funny, he was happy, he was upbeat, he made everybody feel better, everybody's going to be okay, we're going to make it through this day. They wanted to keep him there because he was such a benefit. That was not Alex's heart. He wanted to go out with his men. So finally, there was an incident where a line medic got hurt, and Alex got to go fill in for him that night. And they loved him. The guys were like, yes, we want to keep Alex. We want him to be our medics. We want him on the line. So his sergeant finally relented and let him be a line medic, but we did not know. We thought he was still working in the aid station. But his men loved him so much. I got so many messages after he was killed. I would have never made it through Iraq if it hadn't been for Alex. I would have never made it through basic training if it hadn't been for Alex. He was a comedian. He was a heart that was so big he would give you the shirt off his back. He may come and ask me to buy him a new one after he gives you the one that's on his back. But if he didn't, that's fine, he'd go shirtless. But he loved his country, he loved his men. The last year that Alex was there, he did not take leave. He stayed in Iraq. He was there for 11 months. When Alex was killed, he'd already sent his personal belongings home. His chest with his personal belongings was sitting in my living room when the men came in to tell us that he had been killed, waiting on him. We were already planning a big party, a big barbecue, all the family and friends. We were already that confident that he was going to make it home. He'd been 11 months. He was so close. We just knew it was going to be okay. But like I said, sometimes you are that person that these things happen to. But we got a call 2 days after he was killed, and this man that I didn't know, Corporal Fabrizi, said, "Miss Savage, I served with your son, and I had his journal." We didn't know there was a journal. We had no idea. He had been keeping a journal while he was there. And it says, "If I die, my family needs to read this." Because he was just that, just goofy and direct, hey, make sure. But I want you to know that the night that Alex was killed, he gave his journal to Fabrizi. And I believe that he knew that he was not coming back from this mission. I don't know if God told him, if he just had that soldier's knowledge, that he gave it to that young man. And 2 days later, that young man asked for my address to send it to me. And this is the most amazing treasure that I own. I keep it by my bedside, so if the house ever catches on fire, I can get Alex's journal and run out the door. Because he speaks. Every day he writes about things, he speaks from his heart. He sent a letter to us in here, just in case. One of his writings is, "One of my greatest fears is to never find someone to truly love me the same as I love them. To love someone and find out that they didn't love me the same. The other is that no one will know how much I love them. I honestly can't express the love I feel for all of the people in my life. There are no words that my heart can make it be understood. Corny or not, it's the truth. And if I die out here, I feel that my friends and family will never know. I love my family more than I can say, and my friends as family. If you're reading this, then things did not go well, and you have to know that I'm sorry. I can never express my love for all of you in a way that would give credit to my feelings. In less than 2 days, I am going on a mission to confront and kill the enemy. I love you all so much that it breaks my heart just to write this. If any of you liked who I was, just know that it was because of all of you that I lived this way. Thank you all for letting me love you. I have been your son, your brother, your cousin, your nephew, your grandson, your friend, your best friend, your comedian, your nuisance, and lastly, your soldier. I do not regret anything I've done. Even the mistakes make you who you are. Just know that if I die, that I did it trying to bring back as many people to their families as I could. I am sorry if I don't make it home to you. I love you all. Alex." He did not make it home, but he did make such an impact on so many people's lives. The Army motto of "be all that you can be," Alex lived that. He was that. He was a young boy who had no idea what to do with his life, where to go, and he got to join the Army and become the man that he always wanted to be. He told me on one phone call, he said, "Mom, I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing with my life." I don't know that I could say that at any point in my life I've ever felt that I was exactly where I was supposed to be, doing exactly what I was supposed to do. So since he was killed, we have made it our mission to try to help others, to carry on in the way that we felt would make Alex proud and that he would be happy about. So myself and 4 other main families in Alabama, we all got together and we formed Alabama Gold Star Families. And we started to go and visit, as when someone else in Alabama would lose a loved one, we would go visit them. We would find out from the military, and we would go visit them immediately to let them know that they were not alone, that there were others, that we understood. If they needed us, we could be with them. We could be there at any moment, whatever they needed us to do. And as we started doing things like that, it started to heal some of the hurt that we were going through. And I felt like Alex was with me every time that we did this, every time that we went to another family and we prayed with them, I could feel Alex with me. And I want to tell y'all a little funny story about that. I don't know, some of you may not be old enough to have ever heard of Pennies from Heaven, the song. Okay, Alex loved beer. And there was a beer called Bud Ice, which I've never heard of, never seen it before. But in Alex's personal belongings that he sent home, his most valued things, was a large plastic jug of Bud Ice beer caps. Don't know why he was saving them, no idea. He was just that way. Well, there have been 3 different times in my life when I was in a place where there was absolutely no reason for there to be anything there, and I have found Bud Ice beer caps. At Christine Lake Park, I'm walking around. I'm having a terrible day. I miss my child. I don't understand why we lost him. And there's a Bud Ice cap on the ground. I don't even know if they sell Bud Ice anymore. Y'all may know. I don't even know. One time I'm helping children who are homeless who live in a hotel, and we're cooking breakfast for them. And I get emotional and I'm crying and I'm like, I just can't. I don't know if I can keep doing this. It hurts so bad. And I look under the picnic table. You know what's laying on the ground under the picnic table? A Bud Ice cap. It's starting to get a little weird. It's starting to get kind of scary. I'm like, okay, don't hit me. But I absolutely believe that God lets us have those moments. He lets us have those times when he knows that we can't make it. We need to know that our loved one, that if they're up there and they know where we are and they're watching us. And I know Alex is so proud. We've raised money. We've built monuments to our children. And every time somebody goes and takes a picture at those monuments, anytime anybody goes to visit, it helps heal our hearts so much. Because the worst thing, the way that a person really dies, they say, is when you quit saying their names. And you may have loved ones that were not necessarily killed in war, but if nobody talks about them, it's almost like they just disappear and fade away and they were never here. And we don't ever want that to happen to our loved ones or yours. So I appreciate y'all being here so much. And there's so many organizations out there that you can join, that you can help. You don't have to be a veteran. You don't have to have a military family member even. You can go out and just help. There are Gold Star families. There are wreaths across America where they put wreaths on the graves of people that died in the military every Christmas. There are military and civilian grief support groups. And I encourage anybody, we led a grief share group and we met some of the most wonderful people and got some of the most wonderful healing in our hearts because we reached out and we helped others. You get love and healing by giving love and healing to other people. There's a house in Mexico. We went to Mexico. We built a house for people in Alex's name. There's a plaque. Those people never heard of Alex. They didn't know us. But everybody that comes into their house sees that picture of Alex up on the wall. And because of his sacrifice, we went down there and we built a home for people who were living in a literal mud hole that was dug out of the side of the mountain. We built them a house, a 2-bedroom house. Things like that. You can help. You can donate money. Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, TAPS, absolutely saved us. We would have never made it through this without them. If you see something about TAPS and they're asking for help, volunteers, donations, please support them. The Blue Star Salute, they've been very good about the Gold Star families. They'll have memorials where they'll let us come up and lay a rose in the name of our loved ones. And every time we do something like that, it means so much, so much. And I know that most people don't even know what a Gold Star family member is. Most people, even in the military, do not know what a Gold Star means. I didn't know. But those of y'all that are here today, y'all know now. So y'all can help me spread it. Y'all can tell other people about what you heard here today and what you saw. You can reach out to people. There's probably Gold Star groups in your neighborhoods and your states. Reach out to them. They need your love, they need your help, they need your support, and it means so much to us. And it means so much to our children, who I believe watch us, and I believe they see everything that we're doing. And they're so proud of us, and they're so happy, and they're waiting on us. And I know I'm going to see my son again one day, and I can't wait till that day comes. But in the meantime, just be good to each other. Try to help each other. We got to help each other get through here. We are all just holding hands, leading each other home. And I appreciate y'all hearing me today and listening to me. And I know I've rambled a little bit, but I've never done this before in front of this many people. But I want you to remember Alex. And remember that he loved you. He didn't even know you, but he loved you. His heart was truly huge. People met him and they were best friends immediately. They never forgot him. There were people at the funeral that were like, how do you know Alex? Well, he ran out of gas on the side of the road and we stopped and gave him a ride, and then we just became big buddies. That's how Alex was. Never met a stranger, loved everybody. And we just need to start doing that for each other. We need to start loving each other and helping each other, especially right now. Things are so hard. And now we're starting to have people that are killed in war again. And those families are going to need us to reach out and be there for them. I appreciate your time. Thank you.